government. You know, say me here, because I don't really I get no information for myself, you know, because I don't really have no internet like that. But me here, so they say, you say, by next month, everybody glass you put in. You still a wonder in the government. Are who wicked? Are you a Melman? Eh? Melissa come here and mash up the whole place. John wife John, blow wife blow, crumble wife crumble. Right? And you know say whole heap of Jamaican live in them vehicle. You think say them you want the glass you put in more than them? Eh? No. You say we have electricity problem. And you ask me to bear with you for your next 6 months to serve the year before they get back light. And you mean to God say you can't bear with me to put on back the mirror and put in back the windscreen? Who you believe say one thing was say they live in their vehicle and have no windscreen and can't lock up their vehicle and go nowhere. Government, behave better. You understand me? One next thing me hear say you say, you know. Me hear say you say we don't rush for do no decking. Me hear them attack and sit about earthquake. You know about it? I can't tell if you don't rush to do no decking because you could most of reason I can't tell if you don't rush to do no decking. Tell me why reason and tell me what really I run up and down through your head. Because we want to know, you know. We're tired of it. Imagine. Eh? Look where you put power now. Eh? You want to set out back the troops power now. To charge you for windscreen and all kind of machine and you know what Mel. Eh? Look at Melissa do man and you still come with pressure. And you expect we to not give you none. If you do better man.
Chat morning. The government of Jamaica has decided that no Christmas party now keep for none of the government entities. All of the money them where they have them are go put it into rebuilding the affected areas where Melissa destroy. I don't know if a good move or if a bad move, but it seems like a good move to me. If the people them can't enjoy themselves on the west, I don't see why you're supposed to have Christmas party and keep for government entities when you can't find money to rebuild. So use the money when you go use and keep party and rebuild the country, the constituencies that are affected and the affected areas. Me see when I get money from all different walks of life, when I get money from all bush or foreign and all sort of different people. And then still have to cancel the party them so the country can rebuild down there. But me not rebuilding a go on no same way. So if you no cancel all of them there and you not get too much money out of budget and sitting, how comes the people them still down there and me think you hardware them and the black factory and sitting them supposed to down there already and them not have no more black and they not no more ply and them something there. You know, me don't know what go on in Jamaica, you know? Me honestly don't know what go on.
Pick up the whole hot water. Hey, that even dash water, you might have about even pot water. Hot water. Big up that, big up myself father. And I don't love alone.
Hot Water Massive and crew, my people, how are y'all doing? How is the day going for you, my people? Well, good that you're here this afternoon. Once again, my people, let me give you the latest. And FootaHype checked in the building. FootaHype is asking some questions as it relates to, and he's also making some statements as it relates to the recovery process after Hurricane Melissa. He says many things that I'm sure a lot of people wants to hear and some questions that you can answer in the comment section. So, your boy Buzmal Ryan, my people, stay tuned. You know FootaHype, he will not hold back anything in his saying. So let us hear from FootaHype.
Andrew, you see here that say the police them are go out there and protect your care package them when you buy a give. Police are go out there to protect because them supposed to. When Batman and march at Jamaica, you know send police out there to protect them too, man. Remember you are the first Prime Minister when Batman march in Jamaica, you know? And you send police to protect them. So if you have a natural disaster now, and people are come down to give you things, it's only right you make police to protect them, because you are protect Batman when them a march, which is not a natural disaster. So I don't know what kind of props you want to police to protect people. What you do? Me hear some of your followers them love ask, what me do? What you do? With the amount of money you get, what you do? You want to keep concert with you, where the money? Where the money there, brother? And that if you talk about. I want to not argue with nothing what here. Damien Crawford ask one of your boy for break down how the care package thing go. Him last like navigation now work. The man last like when the navigation now work and you don't know where to go. So me just a say, Mr. Vaz, Mr. Holness, who don't realize that ignorance now work. Andrew say, in the response where we want chat say, As long as the international leaders them say I do a good job, him no care. Man, listen to what Andrew say yesterday. The man say, the world leader them tell him say I go on good. So the world leader them will live outside of Jamaica. We unglass to the news, we want to fabricate, and when you go in a parliament, go chat be a shit. And them you are govern the country after, while the people them will live in the country and suffer. Don't have mobile, the amount of range, X6 GLE, 3 Series Beamer M4, when we see if you park up a roadside, a beard, a wash spoon, a wash plate, I do everything because there's no water. I want spring bust out, and I just say everybody have to go beard, wash plate, wash car, wash clothes, wash everything. So what are you saying, Mr. Holness? So you want props to police and protect people? You forget props to that? Police do that every day. Every day police do that. What you do for the people and with the people and money? Because when we notice when Angela them attack like say, the money where they get to spend and for them on. Only not spend a month, add a lot out of pocket. So, me not understand. You are going to say if the world leader them say you are going good, you don't care what we have to say. When are we living at the problem and we are feeling pressure and you know business where we want to say. From the world leader them say you are going good. Because you do what them want you have to do. So them I got to tell you say you are going good. Remember, you know, Netanyahu from down in Israel say you, Mr. Holness, is the first Jamaican leader ever come down and hold on, let me see how I'm going up there. For blocking, yeah. I say you know some people illiterate and foolish because he must make a drop down when the place start fixed. And nearly a month and a half now, place should have been start fixed long time. So if I that you wait and you know how much people dead, them community there will cover with water. Just imagine this. If the dog couldn't get to it, what the people them there? Ask yourself that question. In a Manchester this sir. Zin? In a Manchester this sir, where the community covered with water. Ask yourself that question. If the dog couldn't get to it, where the people them there? So you are telling me that the whole area they flood out. And we can't see nobody from the area was saying, you know, me run out before my house flood out and everybody come out, you know, everybody alright. You know, notice no story not tell from that place that we flood out. You know why? Nobody not there to tell no story. People them dead in them house. People them drowning in the house and dead. You hear me tell you? People dead in the house them, rotten out already. Some of you know, oh, JPS to get 150 million US dollar. This seems like the man them protect them interest. I think some members of the government invest in a JPS and don't want to lose their money. Sashipu say she's from Galchester and everyone evacuated safely. Prove it, mama. Prove it. Prove it, MC. Prove it. Because someone don't go come on Instagram for chat. Prove it. Because I don't see no evidence of that. Prove it. So, let me ask you the next question, Jamaica. I can ask you the next question? Because I don't stay too long enough. I can ask you the next question? I wonder if I can ask you the next question, you know. I can ask you the next question, my people. Hello? I'm asking the next question. How come when everything else you do, the government not no money? But as soon as JPS or SSL need a bailout, the money is there. That no look kind of weird too, no? anything to do for the people them. A bounty killer and beat him and shaggy them after by bed to hospital. And I do all kind of things. Not even the hospital them can't get nothing. Who me never hear them say, yo, a bounty killer and beanie them after by bed. Make a bail out the hospital with 150 million US dollar. Or when SSL rob up boat money and problem come, the government was ready to bail out SSL. Answer that. No JPS in a problem. The government ready to bail out JPS. Two private entity. But the government entity them not help out. How that makes sense? Black gun, big up yourself, my G. Aisha. Huh? People say Aisha they with the big song. Aisha, me about a big song here. Don't follow them and drink the soup here. No, I'm just saying. When the hospital them in need, whether the hospital in Westmoreland, no AC, people are sleep on floor, people are all up them drip on floor. Kingston Public Hospital no bed. Bounty and beanie them off a buy bed give them. Oh, me never hear the government say, okay, we are going to loan the two major hospitals them 150 million US dollar. When SSL rob up both money and problem come, the government was willing to bail out SSL. Zine, bail out SSL. Now, JPS in a problem. The government, we say them broken up. We have some people in the diaspora to buy ambulance and buy vehicle to carry on disabled people. I say, them want to give JPS 150 million US dollar. Like, are you serious? Are you really serious? And this is the government you all chose, right? This is the 1 PM you all want. This is the 1 PM you all want. And when the man come and attack, the man so nonchalant and disrespectful. Andrew Holness and Daryl Vaz, them don't have no manners. Very disrespectful individuals. And act like everybody a clown. They want act like everybody a clown, like we don't see what go on. We not blind enough. We see what go on. Where this 150 million US dollar come from to bail out JPS, but at the same time, Dr. Christopher Tufton is crying out that they don't have mobility to help the sick people them after Melissa. So how do you see it more fit to help JPS than to help the Ministry of Health? I don't get it. Somebody explain that to me. Somebody explain that to me, please.
Alright, so people, many words there from Foota Hype. You know my people, I know the man hype, you know, I'm Foota Hype. Yes. So the big deal that he's making about the members of the JCF securing people, it's no big deal. So this rumors was alleged, or if so is true, about the money that he took. Now that march is somewhat, I believe, is evidence. So being that Foota speak of that, that seems to solidify the belief to be true in my head. My people, tell me what you think because based on that march, my people. Definitely. And yes, I definitely was one that, okay, teachers needed pay, fireman wasn't getting pay, all sort of people weren't getting pay. And where did that 150 million US came out of nowhere? It came out of the blues, some would say. It came from nowhere. All along they didn't have that. So as Foota stated, private entity. So they are quick to help private entity, but not the people. Oh, because it's government building, and when government ready, they will fix it. Oh, so police should stay in buildings where it is not good enough. It is not safe to facilitate them. Roof, ceiling, popping down, leaking, all of these things. But money is there to go and help JPS. And they didn't stand to defend Usain Bolt. And look now, look who is helping the people, you know, to recover from Hurricane Melissa. This government is not for the people. And I hear people talk it so much, and every day it is proven more and more and more and more based on how we see the government act. Because you're protecting two private entities. You don't protect, you don't care for the Jamaican people. You want to serve others and not really a country. You want to people outside of, you're looking at approval from people that you are not, well, it seems like he's serving them in some sense. Your approval that you should look is from the people. What do you mean that it does not matter what the people say? The people are the true judge and the people are who you are serving. So if the people say you don't pass, you don't pass. And if you're not living in harmony with the people, then you don't make any sense. It's best to remove yourself.
from the Independent Fiscal Commission should be tabled at the same time that the supplementary is tabled. I know you have done so today, and I see it as one of the tabled documents, but it's important for our own analysis of the supplementary. And I know it's not required by law for you to do so, but for good governance and transparency, that we have it at the same time as the supplementary going forward, so we can have an independent analysis of what you are presenting to us. In terms of my...
member, just to note that that report, when asked for, it was sent to Parliament within a day or two.
I know, no. So I see it as a table document today, but I'm just saying going forward, when it is sent to you by law, and I'm just asking if we are, for future reference, when you table the supplementary, that you table it at the same time, so we have the benefit of it prior to it being tabled now. In terms of the substantive question, first one relates to JPS. I have seen in the media where you have finalized the terms of the loan to the JPS. Could you indicate what those terms are in terms of the tenor of the loan and the interest rate? And I ask within the context of a concern that consumers will have about being charged higher bills to facilitate the repayment of this loan. So that's my first question.
Well, remember, the terms of the loan to JPS is 5 years at 5.5%.
Can you indicate which government agency is the official agency providing the loan?
Ministry of Finance and the Public Service.
Or the ministry directly? Okay. There was, related to JPS, there was a allocation or a figure of 450 million US, not in the supplementary, but part of the overall loan package that the international financial institutions were providing, a part of the $6.7 billion. Could you provide some clarity as to what that 450 million US allocated or earmarked for JPS would be used for?
So, member, the Ministry of Energy could give you further details, but in essence, this facility would be available to JPS, as they had indicated that there was a need for additional funding, where we would like for the 150 million that was allocated to them as a loan, for that to come back to us out of this facility, but all of that is left to be worked out.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, we have provided an upfront loan of 150. The international financial institutions have made a provision of 450 million, which JPS can draw down on and use that to repay the government the 150. Is that correct?
Just so you're aware, member, it's not something that is in place yet, but contemplated.
No, I know. That's why I say earmarked and not definitive. But it's important to understand what it is earmarked for and what is the thinking, because obviously there would have been discussions between the government of Jamaica and the IFIs around this facility. And since the figure is there, we just want clarity on it.
Very, very preliminary discussions, member.
Very preliminary. So when will you be in a position, I had asked you at the last sitting, to provide greater detail in terms of the 6.7 billion. We know 2.4 is private sector mobilization funding, but the direct government of Jamaica borrowing, when will you be able to tell us specifics on that in terms of the amounts from institutions, interest rates, length of period to pay, whether there's moratoria, etc.? When can you provide that to the House?
So remember, the announcement was made last week, and as you can imagine, with these kinds of facilities, there are many conversations, many rounds of meetings to happen. We are in the early days following this announcement, so please allow us some time. Obviously, government has to look at its priority projects. It has to look at the timing of those projects. There is quite a bit to be worked out, member, which would not be possible to bring to the House in a week.
Okay, I understand that, but would you be in a position to say when? And I ask that within the context, you have made projections around our debt to GDP ratio, moving up to 68% and moving higher. I assume those projections would account for what you anticipate that you intend to borrow to deal with the gaps that arise from the fall off in economic income, activity, and taxable income.
All right. The 68% debt to GDP that you referenced, member, is what we're projecting by the end of this fiscal year, which will be in another 3 months. And all, if not most of that, is primarily due to the decline in the GDP. As we look out in the medium term, that's where you would see reflected any drawdowns on these facilities that have been announced.
So no new borrowing for this fiscal year up to March 2026.
So in this fiscal year, member, there is a little bit of borrowing, but not enough to move the needle significantly.
All right, since you have not finalized the arrangements, is there a contemplation to negotiate within these facilities? There is a specific climate provision, and I think Barbados has piloted that, where in the event of a natural disaster, that there is a waiver of suspension of payments of interest and principal. We don't have that. Is that something we are going to do going forward, given that we haven't finalized the negotiation of these facilities?
Those are conversations we've had, specifically with the president of the IDB in particular, and with representatives of the World Bank, but to be finalized.
And then my final question, I've highlighted a number of times the chronic underspend of our capital budget. I know efforts have been made to address the procurement issues. There was a reallocation of $2 billion in this particular supplementary away from the capital budget. Can you indicate the specific steps that are being taken to ensure that we can, in fact, spend the allocations that are provided within the budget and within the context where there is such a great need now in this rebuilding exercise to have capital projects executed on time?
Well, for this fiscal year so far, member, as you would probably know, we did have a hurricane, and that would have slowed some of the capital spending that we have to do for this year. But in terms of going forward and the reconstruction efforts that would need to be underway, you would have heard the Prime Minister talk about the National Recovery and Reconstruction Authority, an entity to coordinate the work that needs to be done for reconstruction, an entity that's supposed to be nimble in terms of its efforts and its coordination. So there's great expectation that as we go forward, that you will see, a better utilization of the capital that needs to be spent, especially for reconstruction.
Minister, you know very well that
I'm sorry, it's a national National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority. Could be
No,
important.
but we know the problem of under expenditure on the capital budget is not specific to Hurricane Melissa or Hurricane Beryl. It's certainly for the last 4, maybe 5 fiscal years, we have had significant under expenditure. Now, is it that you're suggesting that NARA will be able to operate more efficiently and effectively than normal central budget and normal central government and the MDAs? Are there revised procurement guidelines that will be available to that agency so that they can actually spend the money?
So, for the National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority, we are expecting that it will operate under emergency procurement rules, but also that it will have the ability to engage significantly large companies to help us in terms of having a faster pace at the reconstruction.
All right, thank you. I'll turn it over to my colleagues who have other questions.
So people, you know, all that he have asked, again, no form of accuracy, no direct information, the government still needs time. So they plan to borrow a loan and they have not. So that means there's no need for the loan then, because if you're planning to borrow a loan, you don't know what the loan is for. You have no plan for the loan. None of that. Based on some questions asked. Alright, and then again, you're giving JPS a loan. And you're not direct on anything. Well, she stated the interest rate, she said 5.5. So I think that when you'd have split that half, it would be 5.5% then of what it is. Well, to me that interest rate is, that will be low. Well, good, they want to help them, but what we are worrying about now is the bill charges, my people. I know enough people go and think for throw up a piece of wire, You know, people have said it before, I'm not influencing anyone to do that, but based on the charges. And why, if this money is coming direct from the Ministry of Finance people, then why they always make it seem as if we are broke and we never have no money. And we wouldn't know that so much money exists, my people, if it wasn't for all of this. You get me? And what I want to understand, why is it that the government is the one that's lending the loan? You have the IFI, and you have so much. You have private sectors from overseas, which the loan could have been given to JPS from. You get me, my people? So it's a whole lot of things, but in all that was said, nothing still is accurate. Nothing still is sure. The government needs time, she stated, to answer this and that and to know what they're up to. They don't know a thing, my people. She's still not able to give any accurate information. And I think the supplementary document is not that. Mr. Campbell said that they would like for it to be tabled at some point, just for accuracy and for transparency, and things like those, my people. I don't think that's something that they should have, like, those things should be there at hand, for the better of we Jamaican people, so these things can be reviewed or revised, or noticed by the opposition, my people. But for all that is said, my people, I think we're definitely in a hole, Yes, my people, so thank you for staying tuned and watching Hot Water. Big up yourself, man. You see, comment, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think, about what Foota Hype said. But Hot Water, stay tuned for more, my people. I'm out.
Hot Water Channel, straight to the max. Bring the thing to the people then. Original generous speed. Same way. Man, big up Hot Water Channel, no ice cream. Yeah, man. Big up yourself.